please welcome KOSTYUK. And from Greece, please welcome the number 4 seed, SAKKARI.
Middle of October, late in the season, a lot of tennis has been played. Not much left on the schedule, and yet there is still so much to play for everybody who has assembled here in Guadalajara. As we say, bienvenidos, welcome tennis fan. It's our second evening of coverage, and the night session features 2 matches that have women who have a lot at stake. Some to continue on their season and make the postseason and make a run in Texas. Others want to find their way to lofty standards of which they have not achieved yet. As is the case for Maria Sakkari, currently in the running for the WTA Finals Fort Worth. She's in the mix at number 6 currently. A couple of wins could almost certainly qualify her, if not outright do so, to join the likes of Iga Swiatek, Ons Jabeur, and Jessica Pegula. But she wants to do well in Guadalajara because she's a competitor. As is her opponent, Marta KOSTYUK. She does not have a shot for Texas, but she has a shot at finishing inside the top 50 this year, which would be a milestone and a goal achieved. So it's all on the line in their second round meeting as they look to move through the draw at this WTA 1000, the Guadalajara Open at Rome.
16 years old. We celebrate her birthday here.
It's her birthday today, so she's in the top round. Okay, ladies, condition on this court, you see the shots are this corner and this corner. So it's opposite side, okay? And we do have a traditional challenges. That means you're gonna stop and challenge, and then the result will show on the back of the court and also on the top of the screen. Okay, TV changeovers. Any questions? No. Okay, Fernanda, all yours. Maria, thanks. Tails.
Heads, you said?
No, she said tails. You call Marta. Thanks. Sir. Yeah, can we take a photo with her?
We'll get a photograph right now of Fernanda with Marta and Maria. It's her 16th birthday. She's the daughter of our tournament director, Gustavo Sanchez.
Feliz cumpleaños to this nice young lady. 16 years of age today, and what an honor to be able to flip the coin and stand side by side with 2 of the best tennis players in the women's field. It is our second night, round 2 coverage, Guadalajara Open, and we are happier with this tennis fan, Marta KOSTYUK and Maria Sakkari, to clash for a spot in the 3rd round. Kevin Skinner alongside Jill Kravis. Well, Jill, this is a treacherous portion of the draw. Now, it's a shame we can't see actually the full round 2 as it sits currently, because if we did, we'd see Jessica Pegula, Rybakina, we'd see Kudermetova, Vekic, Bouchard, Ostapenko, Collins. They're all in either the mix or have already qualified for Texas. There's a lot to be played for. This is a tough draw.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this yesterday. The rounds in this 1000 are just unbelievable. They're so strong, and there's so many players that can make that push. I mean, you mentioned Vekic in particular. We know we just saw her last week. She got to the finals of San Diego from qualifying, had a huge run. Danielle Collins is in there as well, so it is a tough section of the draw for sure.
We talked about the motivation for both these women. 20-year-old Marta KOSTYUK of Ukraine. She finds herself at 58 in the world. A good push at a WTA 1000 might get her back up inside the top 50. She did finish at number 50 last year, so she's hoping to prove upon that. And there's a lot to like about her game.
I really like her game. I saw her a couple years ago at the Australian Open, and she's just got that all-around really good game. She can do everything. She's technically sound off the ground, very strong ball striker from the baseline, but isn't afraid to come forward as well. You're going to see her trying to approach the net quite a bit and has variety, can throw in the drop shot, so she really is fun to watch.
Yeah, she's got a nice game that got her all the way through to the semifinals of Granby, her 4th WTA semifinal before she had to withdraw for her tournament against Daria Seville with a shoulder injury. We'll see how KOSTYUK's shoulder is doing in this match, because she'll certainly be tested physically. One of the most fit specimens in women's tennis is 27-year-old Maria Sakkari, the 4 seed here, currently ranked 6th in the world, has been, as you can see, as high as number 3. This season, she's gotten through to 3 finals, but no joy on that last day.
Yeah, I mean, I think she struggled in the U.S. hardcourt swing, but she really has had a very, very consistent year. The 3 finals that you mentioned, also a lot of quarterfinals and semifinals. So she really has strung together quite a few matches. Obviously still in the running for the race. So, I mean, she has potential to make that one of 17 women that still are vying for the spot. But yeah, she's been able to back up that great 2021 year that she had, and she's been able to have that consistency remaining throughout this year as well.
You mentioned the 2021 season that was solid for Sakkari, and she reached 2 semifinals at majors, including at the U.S. Open. And last year at the U.S. Open, her first round opponent was Marta KOSTYUK. She won that 6-4, 6-3 on her way to great success in New York, but she wasn't able to back up this year. But anything you could take away from that match 13 months ago?
Yeah, it definitely is still probably in their minds for sure that they played each other and have had that experience before being on the court with each other. A little bit different conditions here for sure with the high altitude in Guadalajara, so a little bit different than the U.S. Open, but they are both fast surfaces, and I think the ball bounces a little bit higher, so just slightly different conditions.
You can see the humidity is high. The temperatures are very comfortable, though, overall, and we are playing in high altitude with high altitude balls, which would imagine would have an impact on players early. But already, with KOSTYUK being able to give herself a victory, getting past Alexandra Sasnovich, she's had a little time here to acclimate. We'll see how Maria does.
Yeah, I do think that does take time. It's very beneficial if you're able to come to a place like Guadalajara a few days early and get used to the altitude. That's definitely beneficial for you because it takes a while to really be able to control the ball in particular. Even with the high altitude balls that you play with, they help a little bit, but it still can get in your mind a little bit to try and get extra spin on the ball, control the ball, bring it back down into the court.
Yeah, we're talking about that little run after she started the year 18-7, Maria Sakkari, and runner-up at 2 events. She hit a little bit of a tough patch. In fact, for the next 6 months, won more than 2 matches in a row only once. I mean, the consistency that we're accustomed to wasn't there, but then she rebounded, and she's coming off a final run in Parma. So any talk about her having a tough time, the Ostrava and San Diego results notwithstanding, she's had a terrific season.
I think she's had an amazing season. I think sometimes, we have to take into consideration the year as well, how long the year is and how many matches you've played. And for someone like Sakkari, who has strung so many matches together throughout this year, sometimes it's tough to, you have some patches, maybe you're just like, okay, it takes a while to sort of get mentally back on track. And she did, like you mentioned, with the final in Parma.
So Sakkari versus KOSTYUK, their second meeting. It will happen in Guadalajara in the debut of this WTA 1000 event. Commonly the home of a WTA 250 event back in February, and last year it hosted the WTA finals. This year it got the nod as one of the big events on the WTA Tour. Marta won the toss. She elected to serve first. She'll do the honors. Spot in the third round. At stake against Collins or Frech. We're underway on night 2 from Guadalajara. Marta was happy to get that victory under her belt against Sasnovich in the opening round, 6-1, 6-3. She had lost 5 of her last 7 coming into Guadalajara.
Yeah, that's a great win against Sasnovich. As she had in the first round, Sasnovich, one of the most consistent players, can bring that pace as well and attacking style from the baseline. So it was a great win from Kostyuk.
Yeah, just to get that consistent opponent pushed aside and did so relatively easy, 1 and 3. And a way to give herself a bunch of confidence here to go up against a top 10 player, of which she has not had a lot of success. That is putting it in the most gentle way of expressing it. And she's got a big game when she's striking clean. Brilliant backhand. It's a point away from the hole.
40-30.
That's a great serve out wide, just to push Sackkari so far back outside the court. Got a lot of kick on that serve.
And when you're beating Sackkari for pace across on that type of shot, you're doing well. Yeah, it's been a tough road. 8 times she's faced a top 10 opponent, 8 times walking away defeated. Marta Kostyuk.
Iguales.
Hoping today is that day.
Deuce.
Yeah, that 0-8 record, by the way, does include 4 tries already this season. So maybe the 5th time is the one that gets it done.
Yeah, that's good pace from Sackkari on the backhand side. Just had so much time on that ball. Kostyuk just didn't have a ton of pace on the last couple shots, and Sackkari made her pay.
Telina Beko, as we showed you moments ago, that's the coach for Marta, sitting courtside, very stoic at the moment. But that is actually common for the demeanor of Beko. Telina, she does do the double duty, so the fact that she's able to keep her emotions in check isn't easy because, of course,
she's her mother.
Yeah, exactly.
It's double duty.
Right? I mean, coaching and trying to also cheer on your offspring can be a dicey combination.
And she's a former professional tennis player herself. Actually, both of these women, mothers, have played on the professional tour in the past. Love the way she moved through that backhand. Kostyuk.
Deuce.
Recognized pretty early that this ball landed shorter in the court, just inside the service line, so did a good job of just taking those couple steps forward into the court and then followed through, looking to come into the net.
Terrific job to defend a break point. And she'll face another. That one came in with some heat. Sackkari looking to make her move early.
Iguales. Deuce. Ventaja Kostyuk. Iguales.
Boy, just uneven performance. I mean, facing the break points, she's played them terrifically. Then she gives herself the fighting chance to hold with an ace, followed by a double fault.
I think just a little flustered with her serve right now. She's looking over at her coach and mother, just especially after she hit that ace and she had that come on. That just gives you an indication that she's a little bit flustered with the serve, first serve percentage.
Sackkari with her third try to grab this opening game. And 3 consecutive errors costs KOSTYUK her opening service game. An easy trot to the chair to swap ends for Sackkari, who's on the board first. Does lend the question, though. You like the win over Sasnovich because of Alexandra's consistency, but is there any similarities between Sasnovich and Sackkari that could prepare KOSTYUK for what she's going to face today?
I think a little bit different. I think Sasnovich hits the ball just differently. She's very consistent off the ground. Her backhand is very strong in particular, but she hits a different kind of ball. It's a lot flatter. Sackkari brings a ton more pace, a little bit heavier also off both wings, especially off the forehand. So it's just, it would take a little bit of an adjustment from KOSTYUK. I think the one good thing about that Sasnovich win is you have to beat Sasnovich. She's not going to give you many free points because of her consistency. So I like that was a great score line. 1-3, KOSTYUK won that match.
24 of her 33 victories this year against non-seeded opponents, hoping to continue that successful vein.
That move. It was a good time to come in from KOSTYUK, where she was able to create nice depth on the forehand cross court. Had a lot of time to set up on this forehand. Did a good job with the feet, and she's very solid at the net. Good job moving through that volley.
Correction was good.
Oh, that was close and called good. Overruled from the chair.
Ms. Garcia challenging the call on the left service line. The ball is called in.
Jenny said it well, so we'll just wait and watch. Looking to overturn the call. It was called good from the chair. And it was flush.
Ball stands for serve.
Zhang Wan, the chair umpire, also goes by the name Jenny.
Well, you can see KOSTYUK trying to work that ball in the court. Is pretty smart return. She's pushed so far outside and just kept the ball nice and deep. She knows Sakkari's not going to probably come into the net, so she felt like she had that room, but then just tried to guide that last one too much.
In the 15-30.
Tom Hill and company. Tom Hill in the foreground, coach for Sakkari for some time now. The 27-year-old under his care. A lot of belief in her game and very positive messaging between the two. Maria takes it all on board. Big striking from Marta. We talked about it, Jill and Lita. There's a lot to like about her game and when she's on.
Well, I really like this combination. I think she needs to use this pretty often, that higher, heavier ball that didn't land that deep actually, but it bounces off the court so high because those are the type of the conditions here in the altitude where it really kicks up and then attacks the next point or the next ball. That was a great combo.
Terrific time to produce her first winner of the match to defend the opening break point for KOSTYUK.
I think that was great patience from Sakkari. She kept consistently going into the backhand side of Kostyuk. Kostyuk's not hurting her on that side right now, so waited for the right opportunity to change direction to take control of that point.
Still under a threat. Sakkari doesn't want to give the serve right back. Kostyuk's been controlling a lot of pattern of play. Again, that was just the first winner, and Maria only has one unforced error as well. She's been a consistent backstop for Marta thus far.
Iguales. Deuce.
Well, interesting, Sakkari went to the forehand slice. I think she probably had the wrong grip, didn't quite switch her grip in time, so went to that slice, but it put KOSTYUK in an advantageous position. Another good volley through the court.
Iguales. Deuce.
Difficult opening quarter hour for the server, both under intense scrutiny early, each facing a trio of break points. KOSTYUK paid the price for it. Sakkari so far unscathed, definitely under threat. More like Maria Sakkari that's reached 3 finals this year, including in Indian Wells, the first WTA 1000 of the year, just powering her way through the court.
Iguales. Deuce.
Just lifted up, opened the racket head a little bit too much there, Sakkari. That one just died off the court.
89.
These courts take the spin pretty differently. If you hit it high, heavy spin, it really jumps up, and the slice off the bounce just stays so low. That one didn't even come up.
What contributes to that? What does it change? Is it maybe sand in the paint? Is it something, the surface itself? Is any indication as to why that might have a different bounce?
I mean, I think with the bounce, with the way it bounces higher, it has more to do with the altitude.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, for me. But on the slice, it means the court would be a little bit slicker as a hard court, and that's when the slice would stay lower off the bounce.
Against 30-18. Brenda E. Wallace. 30 over.
Trying to produce a little pop on her serve and picking up a couple of aces in the process. Kostyuk trying to make this a lickety split hold, completely turning the opening two games on their ear. Not quite done.
Wallace. Deuce.
It's just right on the line. Nice pace on that serve from Kostyuk.
Kostyak.
Kostyuk busting the trend both by holding serve and doing so with brevity, all things considered. Just a 4-minute hold, considering 10 minutes each for the opening two games. She's got herself out in front. Kostyuk over the 4 seed. Trying to get a bead on what Juan was requesting from the locker room. I think there might be a little salon going on back there. Some hair gel was requested, Jill, I believe.
If
it gets breezy, you do want the hair out of your face. It can be distracting if the hair all of a sudden flies in your face. So
got to plaster it down.
I know.
But before the match, we'll see what Sakkkari has in store here as she finds herself down. On serve, though, opening set, some late stragglers coming in. We did talk about the fact that some people, there's been some grumblings that maybe Sakkari's having sort of a downturn, that she's having a tough time of late. Yeah, that's you guys. Please sit down. Gracias. And the start of game 4. Yeah, if you're talking about this is a ripe time to perhaps upseed one of the top seeds and maybe get a shot at the 4 seed herself, Sakkkari, Kostyiuk may know that Maria comes in having lost her last 3 matches. And maybe, just maybe, Greek number 1 is ripe for the picking. Lost the final in Parma to Mayara Sharif. Lost a bit of a shocker in her opening match in Ostrava to 144 in the world, Alicia Parks. That was a tough one. That was a real battle in the Czech Republic. Maria won the opening set 7-5, and then Parks won the next 2 7-5. So that sort of shook things up.
Parks is talented, yeah, a talented American player coming up. So I think she's definitely one to watch. I mean, it's one of her, obviously, her best win to date so far.
Absolutely. And then made the long trek from Ostrava across the Atlantic, across the United States to San Diego, and lost to another qualifier. She's struggling here with her serve just a bit.
And I think also just in this tournament, I mean, this is her first round. She got a bye, so this is the first match that she's playing. Kostyiuk mentioned a couple times, beat Sasnovich in the first round, so that always helps when you have a match under your belt. We've spoke about that in the past, where sometimes it's never easy playing a qualifier in particular because they have those matches leading up to the main draw.
Yeah, and kind of left it dangling out there. She did lose to another qualifier in the opening round in San Diego. It did happen to be the woman who went all the way to the final, Donna Vekic. So, yeah, it's...
That's where you look back and you're like, okay, that wasn't such a bad loss.
Yeah. Vekic here as a wild card.
Of course, Vekic is great, yeah.
Yeah. And already victorious earlier today. She's into the second round, Donna.
$40-30. 40-30.
Excellent return from Kostyiuk. From that position, you've got to get the depth on the ball. Otherwise, Sakkkari is going to hurt you. So that was such a good return from Kostyiuk. Nice depth, nice height over the net.
SAKKARI. Fuego Sakkari. Dos
Couple of
juegos
breaks to
iguales.
start,
2
followed
games
by a pair of holds, and 4 games split evenly through a lot of points. 46 points played in the opening 4 games. A quality result to get to Granby in the semifinals this year for Marta KOSTYUK. In fact, it was the only quarterfinal that she reached this season before winning that last 8 match and moving through. Was unable to compete against Daria Seville in that semifinal due to a shoulder injury. Happy to see her back and swinging away.
Pero quinte. La 15.
Kostyak just showing some signs of frustration with some of the unforced errors that she's making. They're coming at times where she is pressing a little bit sometimes in moments that she doesn't need to. She can keep 1 or 2 more rally balls going and then wait for a little better opportunity.
There's an example just going for too much. Her 10th unforced error.
Well, that time that was probably the right shot because she was inside the court, but it was the way she hit it. She just hit it so flat. It doesn't have to be that flat. She gets really good rotation on both sides, the forehand and backhand.
It's more a technical error than
on that
shot
one,
selection.
on that particular one. Finds herself in danger for the 2nd time in 3 service games. Broken to start the match, in danger of losing serve once again.
Let. Second serve.
Things start to unravel. This is a case of needing some mental stability. Kostyak just has to kind of narrow her focus, or things could unwind very quickly. And there it is, the double fault for the break. And for the 2nd time tonight, Sakkari has a break of serve lead. Can she make this one stick? Out in front in the opening set on night 2. 3-2 for the 4 seed.
Gracias, señoras y señores. Siéntense rápidamente, por favor. Time.
Terrific 2021 season for Maria Sakkari. It was her first time finishing inside the top 20 and actually jumped all the way up to number 6 to be the year-end number 6 player in the world. She's hoping that it's back-to-back years inside the top 10. Part of the reason there's some whispers and misgivings about her season, though, couldn't back up her Ostrava title from last year. One and done in defense of that. And the other, of course, she reached the Final Four at 2 events last year, at Roland Garros and the U.S. Open. And this year, bounced in the second round of both.
It's tough to, when you have such a fantastic career going in, or fantastic year going in the next year, and having to defend those points, it can get into the back of your mind. You put those extra expectations on your shoulders because you've done well in the past.
I see what you did there. Shoulders, putting them on Maria. The most defined shoulders in women's
I know,
tennis.
seriously. But I mean, like we said before, she's had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
I mean, despite
There's
losing in the
lots to be
second round.
excited about.
I know.
3 finals. I mean, how can you scoff at that? One of them at WTA 1000. 33 wins. Come on, people. Putting the bar pretty high. That's not coming back. Sakkari just effective, efficient, and sturdy.
Really well constructed point from Sakkari. Both of the players hitting with a lot of good depth on the cross court. This was smart here going down the line. You could see KOSTYUK covering the backhand cross court. Great overhead to put it away.
Pushing KOSTYUK further and further back behind the Guadalajara signage. She was starting to run out of room. Sakkari looking to make it 3 consecutive games.
Ms. Sakkkari trying to call on the left far sideline.
We'll get another gander at that, at the request of Sakkari. Dual animation and live coverage, and there is the picture, both saying the same thing. No bueno.
30 iguales. 30. Ms. Sakkkari has 2 challenges remaining.
Yeah, it was a great job overall on that point from KOSTYUK, defending well on the backhand side. She pushed back with the power of Sakkari and got a little bit lucky with the let court. And she's so solid at the net. You rarely see her miss that first volley when she comes forward.
Yeah, she's been sparing thus far in this match, but 4 of 5 now when venturing forward. More importantly, she's got her 6th break chance. Trying to get back on serve. That's going to miss the mark. Sakkari wants to see it again, and understandably so. Could hang in the balance of being broken. If indeed this misses the mark for a second time on that far sideline, Sakkari will sit down or exchange balls at 3-all. And that's what it will be.
Juego KOSTYUK.
So 30-love start in the 6th game. No joy for Sakkari.
3 games on. Ms. Sakkkari has 1 challenge.
The duel continues in Guadalajara, 3-all.
3-0. 15 love.
Another solid example.
Forward, yeah. Anything short, it's a good play for her to just attack and come forward. I mean, Sackkari hasn't been able to do much with the passing shots. KOSTYUK is anticipating well, covering the exact right spot, and she's, again, taking care of those volleys extremely well.
40-0. 40 love.
Did you just get that alert, Jill, on your phone? Did you see the alert?
What's the alert? 40
Easiest
love.
service game, 40 love. Could be a hold to love in a game that eclipses a minute, but not more than 2. Don't look at me like that. There's no such thing as a commentator jinx.
I didn't say it.
You didn't have to.
That was not a very decisive shot there from KOSTYUK. Just going to check the ball here, maybe. Got a little bit broken. They've been striking the ball with a lot of pace.
To be honest, it's not broken. I'm trying to listen. There's no air come out, just soft. There was air. But yeah, the ball is broken. It kind of broke. It was during
First
the point.
indication.
No, there's air now coming out of the ball.
Yeah, if you squeeze it like 20 times, of course it's gonna. No, listen, break.
No, I just tried. What I'm trying to do is checking where, actually, because already I saw it during the bounce. It's actually looks like it's going down.
Yeah, but here on the court, there's a lot of times that the ball bounces.
But this one is definitely air.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, now if you squeeze it 20 times, of course it's gonna break.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ball was broken. The point will be replayed.
This is displeasing to Sackkari, and ultimately she storms off saying if you squeeze it 20 times, of course it's going to break. I'm not sure Jenny has the kung fu grip to be able to just squeeze that so many times to bust it. Anyway, they'll replay the point. Did you ever have that toy? You wouldn't have had that toy as a kid, G.I. Joe? With the grip? Never mind. That's the hold.
Balls, please.
New balls coming, so no more broken ones, but more from Marta KOSTYUK. She has the lead. She has jumped out in front of the 4-seed. 4-3 opening set.
Love your skin.
get you for your birthday now? I just looked up the G.I. Joe with the strong grip. And
It
it's
looks
going,
pretty cool.
Going for $25.
I'm expecting it now.
$25 online. Got to get a grip on things is Maria Sakkari as she's starting to watch KOSTYUK improve her level. Sakkari trying to avoid a 4th consecutive loss. Serving 3-4.
Very good at that return, Kostyak, expecting that big kick serve. It was a pretty good serve, but Kostyuk's been handling that one well with really good depth. Kostyak there was anticipating that Sakkari might have changed direction on that, just leaning to her left a little bit and got behind on that last forehand, hit it late.
A good time for that serve, that first offering to heat up. Good pace, good precision. Sakkari makes her bid for the easiest hold of the night from her end. Second ace. And her easiest hold does come to fruition for 4-all. So what a strange path it has been through these opening 49 minutes for these two. They trade breaks to start. Have a couple of easy holds, though, going to deuce in their next 2 efforts. Then back-to-back breaks once again. And now they produce 2 holds in a row, each losing only a single point. So the progression is in a positive sense, Jill, and it's starting to work its way towards the conclusion of the set.
I think they're both being a little smarter about their serves, in particular in the last couple service games that they've had, using the kick serve more often. The bounce, the way how high it comes off of the bounce is pretty effective. Better location on the passing shot from Sakkari, the first one in particular on the backhand. Is able to create more of an angle on that first ball, so it made it more challenging, that first volley, for Kostyak to really get a good strike on that ball.
Sakkari gives a look to the chair. And Shawan says it was indeed one of the most respected chair umpires, by the way. So when she speaks,
she's very good.
Yeah, the players listen more often than not, even when Sakkari was not agreeing with her previously. 15-all.
In the trend, 15-30.
The roller coaster from the line for Kostyak continues up and down. She finds some brilliance now and again, but 6 unforced, or double faults, mind you. They do count as unforced errors, right?
They do.
So
you're right, both times.
That's troubling, and not a pattern she can continue.
great return from Sackkari, but she had so much time to set up that second serve, not a lot on the ball. Didn't really have to get away from the ball either that much. It was right in her strike zone. I think after the double fault, KOSTYUK just playing a little bit safer with that second serve.
But there's another example, right? I mean, she, as her struggles through this game, gets herself in trouble, then comes up with a terrific serve to defend break point. But still in jeopardy here as Sackkari looks to make her move, step to the line to round out the set. Okay then.
Well, after that double fault, she'd take a long, deep breath just to try and settle herself. She has shown a little bit of frustration in the first few games with her serve, so she's just trying to calm herself down before she gets up to the line. Unusual unforced error from Sackkari, but I think she was expecting a much more penetrating shot. KOSTYUK took a lot off that ball.
Deuce.
These unforced errors from Sackkari are coming when she's, you can tell she just lets up on her swing, doesn't accelerate through. She's hitting the forehand really well, but on the backhand sometimes, just guiding it. You can see how high the ball is bouncing off the bounce. I mean, the only options for either one of them was to hit it back up high. But KOSTYUK did not need to go for that shot. I think she just got a little impatient.
I concur. You could tell she was getting the itchy trigger finger, and she missed her mark. Back to deuce for a third time, mind you.
Sackkari.
Not sure she really thinks it's a laughing matter. Double fault number 7 puts her in jeopardy for a third time in this important 9th game. double faults her way out of it. So she got herself out of a jam with two terrific serves at 15-40 and 30-40, but then she double faults back-to-back. Marta Kostyuk coughs up her serve. Sakkari will serve for a one-set lead in Guadalajara.
Time. Gracias, señoras y señores. Siéntense rápidamente, por favor.
Case of good news, bad news for Marta Kostyuk, as she just double faulted her way out of game 9 and given Maria Sakkari the chance to serve it out. The good news is that each time a player has been broken, the other player broke right back in the next game. Doesn't want that trend to continue in any way. Great start to the 10th game.
She's hitting that out wide serve very well on the deuce. Really getting a lot of slice on it, so it's curving away from Kostyuk.
Iguales, 15.
Too much on that. He's in a tough position. It's off balance.
15-30.
A little bit too much for the line.
And Sakkari helping in the cause to try to continue that trend of back-to-back breaks that helped Kostyuk stay in this opening set. A couple of errors and has her in a hole.
Yeah,
she's motioning that she should have been a little bit closer to the baseline, just kept getting pushed further and further back throughout that point.
Yeah, when Sakkari's been successful, she's been able to get Marta right on that Guadalajara sign or further back.
It's tough, though, because Sakkari plays so aggressively, so it's tough to really change that. You do tend to get stuck being in that position when you're playing someone that hits so aggressively.
Called wide, right in front of the chair. Nobody had a better look at it than Jenny. Second serve, 30 all. It's to a double fault. Troubling for Sakkari. She commits her third. And for the third time, KOSTYUK looking, after having been broken, to break Sakkari right back.
That was excellent forehand from Sakkari. Didn't hold back. Break point. See, just went after it. It's a good, confident strike on the forehand. You could see the way Sakkari was setting up for that backhand, that she was going to go cross court. She thought the pace would beat KOSTYUK. But KOSTYUK, good balance on the defense on the backhand.
Yeah, she read the body language well. Got into position, and Sakkari forced to pay. Facing a second break point in game 10.
Ms. Sakkari challenging the call on the left center service line. The ball was called fault.
Looking for her third ace to overturn the out call. Yep. She's got it.
Iguales. Deuce. Sakkari.
Now it's been a tussle, and at times a struggle for both. 64 minutes to produce the first set point. It goes the way of the 4 seed. There it is from Sakkari, trying to end a 3-match losing streak. Fired up at the conclusion of a long marathon opening set. We knew it would be 20 minutes to get through 2 games. But in the end, the Greek #1 outshines KOSTYUK 6-4.
Guadalajara. 6 games to 4.
Marta Kostjuk has left the court disappointed, to say the least. But also, it is very humid in Guadalajara, so perhaps a change of kit would do her good. Whatever she needs to do to rid herself of the disappointment of faltering late, double faulting back-to-back points in her fifth service effort, ultimately resulted in the difference in this opening set. And the Greek number one, Sakkkari, hoping to get herself into the win column, as well as improve her standing in the race to Fort Worth. The WTA finals to be held there in a little over a week's time. Currently starting the week at number 10 is Sakkkari. She could move up with a victory today, but all chasing those last 5 spots and 2 alternate positions. 15 women continue to be in the running. And the reason it's not 17 as it was yesterday, Joe Kravis, is because there were 2 losses today by two of those members. One, Barbara Krejcikova. Bad news, she's out in singles, no shot. She lost today in her match, but she will be there in doubles. And Beatrice Haddad-Maia, who had a terrific season, she was upset earlier today as well.
It's just amazing that women are vying for the last spot. It's just incredible. We were talking yesterday about it as well. Just the depth of the women's game and how many opportunities women have to make a push at the end of the year. It's tough too because it's a long calendar year.
Yep.
To be able to try and make that extra push is never easy, but it's exciting to watch who at this stage, because this is the last tournament before Fort Worth. It's exciting to watch who's going to be able to get through.
Yeah, speaking of which, over on Grandstand Caliente, Daria Kasatkina, who is currently in the 7th position, so she is in good stead at the moment. She is up on her opponent, Julie, and that is 6-1, 1 love on the grandstand right now in favor of Kasatkina, who's hoping a victory will give her that further push as well, as she looks to qualify outright. Kostyuk back on court, ready to compete. Sakkkari has been forced to wait, just to add a little extra momentum to the Greek number one.
Secondo set. Al servizio, Kostyu.
Still looking for her first ever top 10 victory. Now she's dug herself a hole. Marta Kostjuk serving set number 2. And the lead position. First up.
Sakkkari looked like she might have challenged. Even Kostyuk took an extra look at the line. There's the challenge.
Was called out. Call is overturned. 0-15, la 15. Iguales, 15.
Oh, she missed it. Such a good move from Kostyuk. Didn't hit that confidently, that volley. She's been so strong in that first set with handling the net well.
Iguales. 31.
You can see from Sackkari, even standing so far back to receive that ball, how high it got on her shoulders. It's tough to get depth on that return.
That's been her bread and butter. It's been her saving grace in some instances for KOSTYUK. Getting to the net, and Sackkari just trying to be a little too cute. Doesn't pay off.
That was an interesting choice, throwing in the slice from Sackkari. She's been hitting the forehand so well, and I don't think you necessarily want to bring KOSTYUK into the net. I mean, she did make that mistake on the volley in the previous point, but overall she's been very solid.
7 of 10 today in the middle of the court for Marta. And she picks up her 5th ace to produce the early hole. So bucking the trend, broken 3 times in the opening set. She holds to begin set number 2. Speaking of being broken 3 times, Sackkari herself had her problems from the line. Broken twice. How do we know this? Well, let's take a look at some of the numbers from set number 1.
Yeah, it really was back and forth, like you said, but in that first set between the two of them. But all the numbers pretty even. I think KOSTYUK had a few more winners, and a few more unforced errors. But it was the double faults that really got KOSTYUK in the end, especially the last game. When it was 4-all, she threw in 2 double faults to give the game to Sackkari. I think that was the turning point in that first set.
Agreed. She did so well to fight off the initial 2 break points and served well, but those double faults were just devastating. And the scoreboard reflects it. Plays with a lot of emotion. She has to contain the negativity. It's been up and down thus far, and she's done well to keep herself in the mix, give herself a viable chance here. Just succumbed late in the opening set. Danger of just giving momentum once more to Sackkari. Does Maria want to grasp it? Does she want to take it and use it to her advantage? It hasn't been easy of late for her. It's a mighty blow.
Look how back and forth this match has been. Whenever either player gets a shorter ball, they've been doing a great job of taking care of those short balls, taking it off the court, spreading the court well when it's landed near the service line.
And there it is. Sakkari's easiest service game of the night. Gets her to 1-all. Already a set to the good.
1 game on.
I think for KOSTYUK, it's going to be important. You mentioned that she's been showing some emotions, and we have seen her show a little frustration. What's important for her is to be able to let that go a little more quickly, because I feel like when she's showing the motion, it still affects her for a couple points. And I feel like she could do a little better job of trying to let that go more quickly. Oh, she was right. She should have let that one bounce. I think she thought it was going to be shorter in the court, and the ball just kept drifting back. But at that point, she was committed to hitting it, and that's a tough one to control when you're that deep.
Neither feeling at their most comfortable or best right now. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. You got to find the will to be able to push through the adversity, through the ups and downs. KOSTYUK and Sakkkari each experiencing their own versions of such. Mom used to the emotional outbursts. Been here before, seen it before, endured it. It's because of that, those type of responses that make you think, Marta should be propelling herself well deep into draws, up the rankings. It's just the consistency.
Yeah, stringing it back to back within a match in the points. But after the double fault, she's been predictable as far as the serve. She's always gone on the ad side out wide, the flat serve out wide, or down the tee on the deuce side. And just from her reaction, you can tell it's in her head a little bit, just thinking about the second serve.
20% essentially of Sakkari's points in this match have come via double faults from her opponent. But she gets the hold nonetheless, and it's, look at that. Jill, 3 consecutive holds of serve to start the second. All right, we're moving in the right direction. KOSTYUK trying to come back from a set down on day 2. Bottom half of the draw, the quarter that belongs to the woman who will put the ball in play here in set number 2, Maria Sakkkari, already victorious to move into the round of 32. Donna Vekic, Jeannie Bouchard, Elena Ostapenko, Danielle Collins, and Magdalena Frech. The other seed in this quarter is 8th seed Veronika Kudermetova. Sakkari looks to step up once again, make it even through 4 games.
Just mistimed that one, misjudged that ball, Kostyuk. It was a good get from Sakkari.
15 love.
This forehand, Kostyuk hit so well, just didn't panic, just directed it really well, nice and deep. Good defense from Sakkari.
Another 30 love.
Wasn't a bad volley to go for. She was trying to go for the drop shot volley. Tough on a hard-hitting shot like that to be able to control the pace. Still like the move. I still like the intention of coming forward from Kostyuk.
It's been a wise strategy to this point. She's executed properly more often than not. This was a tough one, though. But regardless, she's disgusted as Sakkari looks to move through without dropping a point on serve this set. Yes, there it is. 8 for 8 from the line for Sakkari. In fact, between the two, what was a bit of a backyard brawl and difficulty. 5 breaks in the opening set, Jill. They've combined 16 of 20 from the line to start.
That was a great service game from Sakkari. Looked very confident in that game. And the way her demeanor is now, she's showing her opponent that confidence. Kostyuk has to be careful, not showing too much emotion, giving Sakkari that little extra boost.
Yeah, they are a dichotomy in emotions and how they're portraying them at the moment, aren't they? Polar opposites. Sakkari looking to Tom Hill, and more often than not, the motivation's there, the positivity. Kostyuk looking over at Mom Talina. Been anything but positive in so many respects, but here she is. She's still in the hunt, still in the fight, battling away.
Great shot, handled that so well, Kostyuk. She started the movement forward pretty fast. Saw Sakkari on the full stretch. That's asking a question of a terrific athlete.
And the answer
Brenda
is easy for Maria.
Looked a little bit too much height maybe on that drop shot, but still to get it past KOSTYUK because she was moving the right way. See, she was in the doubles alley and was able to guide it inside to get it inside the line. That's too good.
Seven aces to go with her 10 double faults. Looking to make it 3 consecutive holds after suffering 3 breaks in the opening frame. There it is for a 3rd time. Manages her way through a service game, even with some disappointment and some frustration. She looks up at the scoreboard. On to KOSTYUK, back out in front. 3-2 second set. A lot of support here, a lot of Greek flags here in Guadalajara as they show their support for the 4 seed, the top-ranked player from her nation, and the only player from Greece in the draw in Guadalajara. Up a set, took the opening frame 6-4 in 65 minutes, serving 2-3 in the second. Maria Sakkari.
That's when KOSTYUK is playing her best, is when she is not thinking about changing direction or not thinking about how to hit the ball. She just strikes with that confidence, accelerates through the ball well. Lifted that one too. Took a little pace off that. Sakkari flattening that one down too much. As you can see, she's motioning to get more height, use that rotation more. Smart serve. That one's been working for her well. Gotten a few return mistakes on that slice out wide.
In the quarantine.
Really pushed that one long. Full fault. Sakkari sets up a couple break chances for Kostyuk. It was a right shot, that shorter volley, because Kostyuk was way outside of the baseline. She almost got to it. Sakkari was just short enough.
She's done well in that position, has Sakkari, saving 8 of 10 break points faced. She works her way, at least for the moment, out of that difficult position. No doubt about that. Wow. She's going to let that bounce.
That was an exceptional forehand, just skidding off the line. Really strong point from Sakkari.
Talking about this one here?
This one right there, yeah.
Damn. The Kostyuk got it back in play. It was pretty impressive in its own right. But as I said, there's no doubt she's going to let that ball bounce. She learned her lesson earlier.
Right.
And here she goes, trying to string together 4 straight points for the hold after facing double break point. That was great defense. And once again, the fist pump and look to her camp. Maria Sakkari showing her resolve. In treacherous territory, she wants to hold on to the straight sets victory that she's seeking. Needed the hold, saved 2 break points in the process, 3-all.
That was the reaction we saw after she won the first set, too. She's really encouraging herself. I like that she's showing some positive emotion.
Yeah, I mean, the Ostrava loss, the San Diego loss, it doesn't sit well. The final in Parma, she's looking to reverse all of that and then some. So, yeah, you can understand why she is hungry for victory, and she's trying to earn it right here. Trying to continue the trend of the day that has occurred if she can get through this in straight sets. I mean, this second day has seen some impressive and brief matches. Ultimately 16 matches in total, 12 to conclude the first round. Those 12 first round matches, all were straight sets wins. Of the 13 matches that have completed, the only one that went 3 sets was Andreescu's comeback from a set down against Kvitova. Sakkari wants to join the list of triumphant in 2. Once again, anything short, and she's charging towards the net. Great play, good movement forward to cut that ball off to make sure she caught that above the net.
Brenda Ginton. 30-15.
In this game, she's done well staying up on the baseline. I mentioned a few times that she has drifted beyond the baseline pretty far back, but she's been taking the ball early, not letting that pace push her backwards.
Took an aggressive stance to begin the match, swinging big, trying to stay on the baseline. Got pushed back a bit, but now Kostyiuk reasserting herself. Wouldn't be a Kostyiuk service game if there wasn't at least one double fault. I mean, that's how she goes. She just likes to supply a little entertainment.
She's had a couple in this game, but she's trying to adjust too much. The first one was in the net, didn't clear the net at all, and that one just way long. She's just overcompensating a little bit.
Oh, that is some magic. She'll take it, and a smile from Kostyiuk. She says, who's with me? I know she's the seeded player, but I'm here to win as well. Fourth straight hold to begin set number 2.
Time.
%50 of the opening set's games resulted in breaks of serve, but the trend has not continued. 7 games on the board in the second. Only 2 break points faced by this woman, Maria Sakkari, and she held serve. Going back to the serving out of the set for Sakkari, this is 8 straight holds.
Now Sakkari wants the crowd. What a great rally from both players.
I concur. And she did want a little love from this crowd, didn't she? Remember me?
Miranda 0. 30 line. Against 30 BC.
Just motion opening up too much. Need to stay turned longer on that forehand.
Releasing the body going through. Is that what?
Just helps you stay more balanced.
Okay.
Just keep the shoulder turn a little longer. Made the adjustment right away, Sakkari.
What is again? 40-18.
Well, it was the right shot, but it was difficult to execute off the bounce. Just kept staying pretty low. Had it too fine.
Sakkkari does her part for all. Has served very impressively. 17 of 21 in the second set.
4 games.
That was a great game. I think she started the game very well, especially after Kostyu hit that stab volley and got the crowd behind her and loosened up. Looked like she was having a good time, and Sakkkari started that game well, which was important just to change the dynamic.
Kostyu has to bury the memories of Game 9 of the opening set. No room for error here. It was a 4-all that Sakkkari broke and then held for the set.
Light second set.
Rough start.
Love 18.
Oh, that was flush. That was a strike right on the line.
It looked for a moment, it was about to drift wide and then just landed right on the sideline. Like that she was looking for forehands on every one of these balls. Got around the ball very well. Keep control of the point. That's where she's the most aggressive, is that forehand side.
Kostyu a long look, but elects not to challenge. And she knows she's in a spot of bother. That's putting it mildly. Double faults number 13 and 14 coming in this ninth game, and it's history repeating itself. This is where she stumbled and it cost her the opening set. This could cost her the match.
14.
So a little mini celebration after getting a first serve in the court.
Might have been a little facetious, but you're right. Mini celebration indeed. There hasn't been a lot to be excited about these last couple seconds. That's it. 3 double faults. 2 cost her game 9 in the opening set. 3 puts Sakkari in the driver's seat. She'll serve for a spot in the round of 16 in Guadalajara. Support for Sakkari has been vocal and has been constant. And let's see if Maria can back herself here. Losing just 5 points on serve in this set. Entering her 5th service game. Handed over a 5-4 lead by her opponent, KOSTYUK. Sakkari looking to seal the deal and end a 3-match losing streak.
Gracias. Gracias.
KOSTYUK on the changeover, just with her head in her hands throughout the entire time. Just so distraught and throwing in those 3 double faults, but this is a great first point and love the response.
And again, showing her prowess at the middle of the court, 12 of 18 tonight. Sakkari's got a bit of the yips here to start game 10.
Sakkari challenging the call on the right service line. The ball was called out.
She's had a couple of correct returning calls and challenging tonight. Your thoughts?
I think it's out. Oh, it's in. Wow.
Yeah, she's good at it. No, it's all right. I mean, it's close. That's why they're challenging.
Listen.
Steve Simon, CEO of the WTA, in attendance.
0-15, la 15.
Well, it was smart to run around that one to get the forehand, but when you're going over the higher part of the net, just got to make sure you get that extra height on that ball. Doing a great job of getting a lot of these serves back in play.
Love 14.
Sakkari really pressing on these ground strokes with these unforced errors.
Yeah, good concerted effort. You could just see it in how she prepared and uncoiled. Picking her spot on her first serve to erase one of 3 potential break points to get Kostyuk right back in the mix.
Gracias. Gracias, señoras y señores, por favor.
Just I said she'd get a lot of returns back in play. Little miss hits from Kostyuk. Great mental toughness to get this back to deuce from Sakkari.
Yeah, just really settling her nerve, didn't she? She's taking her time, putting herself in position. You can imagine she's visualizing how she wants to go through the point. 3 for 3. And from triple break point to 2 points away from victory.
Excellent shot from Sakkari. Knew exactly Kostyuk was going to be coming into the net. This ball landing pretty short. It's a great shot from Kostyuk. What a good angle and dipping it down to the feet.
Yeah, fantastic response, knowing that Kostyuk has been successful at the net. She gave her a big challenge. And Maria fending off the threat, looking to get across the finish line. That'll do it. Punching her ticket into the Sweet 16. Maria Sakkari in straight sets. Ramata Kostyuk. It wasn't an easy contest, but after losing 3 consecutive matches, she's back in the win column. And her first foray at Guadalajara finds her victorious. 6-4, 6-4 to move through. Yeah, so this round 2 encounter, because Sakkari got a bye through the first round, it really turned into something exciting, because you have to give all credit to Kostyuk for making it intriguing, because she seemed to be going away more often than not, leaning backwards, and then she would come forward again. I mean, she made Sakkari work for it.
I felt like we saw a lot of emotions up and down with Kostyuk, and she would actually play that way with her serve a little bit. She had quite a few double faults, which I think hurt her at the end, but she backed them quite a bit up with some aces and some good serving. But I love the fact that she fought so hard, especially
spectacular, electrifying, magical. There are so many adjectives to describe the kind of tennis that you played this evening here in Guadalajara.
Well, I have great memories from last year, so, you know, I just really wanted to feel all those emotions that I felt last year, and I think you guys delivered, because Hand on heart, you have the best atmosphere in the world.
It really is. It's, you know, you travel all over the world. There's crowds everywhere, not to disparage any other crowds in any other cities, but there is something special about the fans here in Mexico, how they've opened their arms and welcomed you. How special to be back in Guadalajara, to feel this kind of electricity. And does it make a difference in your performance?
Well, obviously it does. You know, I just want to stay here as long as I can. Everything is amazing about Guadalajara. You know, the place, the tournament, the food. I just, you know, as you said, I don't want to be very strict on my critics. And, you know, Australia has a great crowd for me because of the Greek community, New York as well. But there is something special about Mexico.
I think I agree. Back to the match. Marta is a tough opponent. She brings out the best in you. What are you most pleased with tonight about your performance? You defended break points spectacularly tonight. What are you proudest about in terms of your performance and level of play?
You know, I just, especially in the beginning, I was struggling, you know, with the pace and everything. She had a match yesterday, so she was more used to, you know, the balls and the court and everything. But I just, you know, trusted myself. I believe that I have the level. I proved it to myself so many times. So I just, you know, stayed patient, made a lot of balls run, and yeah, that's it.
Maria, every tournament you take seriously, but I heard you told one of the reporters at ESPN Deportes said you are here to win. Is that true? And how much would it mean to you to take a trophy home, which still keeps you in contention to make it to Fort Worth for the WTA Finals?
Obviously, there's a long way to go until, you know, the final and to win the tournament. But I saw that trophy in the players' party and it looked pretty special. It looked very beautiful. So I was like, I would take that home. But, you know, it's still a long way to go. There are so many good players that are playing good right now. I'm building my confidence back to where I wanted to be, and, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, congratulations to you. Maria Sakkari through to the third round. Guadalajara, felicitaciones.
So her debut in Guadalajara at the WTA 1000 gets off to a good start with a straight sets win, her 34th win of the year. Talking about looking for maybe a fourth final of the year. There's a lot of work to be done, but she put the work in tonight, Jill Kravis, to get across the line.
Yeah, I think she played fantastic, especially at the end. She finished strong, and here just the final numbers. I think it just came down to the fact that Kostyuk hurt herself a little bit with the two service games at 4-all in both sets, but Sakkari, that last game was just crucial for her, the way she defended against those 3 break points that Kostyuk had, the way she finished strong. And I love the fact that she said she really trusted herself and believed in herself, because you could see it at the end in the last few points.
Yeah, there's without question the confidence was brimming. Just that self-belief was enough to push her across. Got some help, though. Kostyuk, those 15 double faults, 5 of them coming combined in the 9th game of each set, which ultimately was the break that secured the chance to serve out the set, and that's exactly what Sakkari did. She moves into the Sweet 16, awaits the winner of Danielle Collins and Magdalena Frech. They are on court tomorrow. First on Concha 1, court 1, against Collins. She has a 1-0 record when they're only meeting in San Jose in the semifinals in 2018 en route to Maria's first WTA final. Has never faced Frech. So that sets things up for our last match of the day. 15 are in the books. 1 left to play. Rebecca Moreno, Caroline Garcia coming up from the Centro Panamerico de Tenis. And for the look of Maria Sakkari, that 10th position looking pretty good. She could face Kudermetova in the quarterfinals as they're chasing everybody for the 5 spots left vacant in Fort Worth and the 2 alternate positions. Moreno, Garcia, coming up from Guadalajara.